Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to GNR Central. And you guys may have noticed I've got a news video up on GNR Central 1. So finally got my YouTube channel back, and I'm going back to my original Guns N' Roses Central YouTube page. I'll have an update video all about that later today. But I'm still keeping GNR Central 2, and I'm going to use that to talk about other bands and do true stories on those bands and some cool events in the history of music. So let's talk about Guns N' Roses and their future plans. So there's been a lot of news this week about what's next for the band. They just played their 10th leg of the Not in This Lifetime tour. They played almost 160 shows over the span of 2.5 years, almost grossed about $500 million. But what's next for the band? So if you guys go to the Guns N' Roses tour dates page, you'll notice that they don't have tour dates listed anymore, of course, but they have a message saying we are not done yet. Shit's just getting started. So there's a clue of what Guns N' Roses may be doing in the future. We also had a little speech that Axl gave at the end of the Hawaii show. So Axl basically was thanking the crowd, and he shed some light on what Guns N' Roses possibly have planned in the future. So he said the following: okay, now we have a bit more to do here. I want to thank you, and I want to thank the fans all around the world for making the last couple of years effing awesome. I want to thank the band that I'm sure hates me. Of course, Axl said that as a joke. He said, I want to thank Opie and our crew. I want to thank Jeremy and all of our sound crew and all of our security and all of our business and management teams. Thank you very much for the last couple of years, and we hope to keep this thing running, so we'll see what happens next. We had to get through this first, and you helped us do that. We can't do what's next until we finish this. So make of it what you will, but it seems like Guns N' Roses are not retiring anytime soon, or hanging it up, at least in the near future. So we also had this post from Guns N' Roses manager Fernando. He posted this on social media at the end of the Hawaii show, and then he promptly deleted it. So we have all these clues about something's happening in the future. There's been rumors going on that Guns N' Roses may be having an announcement in January. So we've also got some other Guns N' Roses news. So it looks like Guns N' Roses 2019 calendar is up for pre-order on the band's website. So it's $20, and these are some of the photos that they've listed from the calendar. I'm guessing a lot of these were taken from the 2018 Not in This Lifetime tour that they played across Europe as well as Asia. Some of these pictures are pretty awesome, but it's kind of funny when I look on the forums, a lot of people are not fans of Kat's photography. They say she overuses the black and white photos a lot, but I think some of these photos are actually pretty good, and I like some of the photos they share on their social media pages as well. So this is a piece of news that I'm sure a lot of people missed, and even including myself. So back in September, there was a new Guns N' Roses tribute album that got released. It was supposed to be honoring the Not in This Lifetime tour, and it's up on Amazon for purchase. You guys can actually go to the link below and check out the Amazon track list. And the title of the album is Not in This Lifetime, a tribute to Guns N' Roses. And some of the full songs are actually available on YouTube. I've also linked to those below, and includes a number of well-known musicians who've actually paid tribute to Guns N' Roses. So they've got former members of the Misfits, Dio, Skid Row, Pennywise, Poison, LA Guns. So if you ever wondered what it was like to hear somebody from LA Guns cover GNR, you can do that. Faster Pussycat, Warrant, Alice Cooper, Quiet Riot, One Bad Son, Richard Kendrick, Leaving Eden, and more. So according to some people, this tribute album actually came out a long time ago, but it only just, I guess, got more attention recently. So go check it out, guys, and let me know what your thoughts are on some of the covers. What's funny is that even though it's a tribute to the Not in This Lifetime tour, some of the songs on the album have never been played by Guns N' Roses on the Not in This Lifetime tour, like Locomotive, You're Crazy hasn't been played live. There's a number of other ones too, so go check it out and let me know your thoughts. So apparently Guns N' Roses were the most streamed rock band of 2018, at least according to the numbers that were publicly released by the band. So rockers Guns N' Roses were the most streamed band of 2018 with 647 million streams according to Spotify. So the list of the most streamed rock bands are as follows. So note that only the bands that shared their streaming numbers were on the list. So there may be bands that actually had more numbers because some of these bands I had a hard time believing. So Guns N' Roses were first with 647 million. Five Finger Death Punch was number 2 at 575 million. Breaking Benjamin was about 320 million. Shinedown was number 4 at 285 million. Kiss was 5th at 184 million. 6th was Alice in Chains, close behind with 183 million. And the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th spot were rounded out by Stone Sour, Godsmack, Motley Crue, and Trivium. So turning now to some Duff news. So it was announced this past week that Duff is going to be playing a one-off show in South Carolina with members of ELO and Hootie and the Blowfish. So according to the Herald Online, it really started with McKagan's brother, Bruce. So we've always heard about Matt McKagan, But really, we haven't heard a lot about Bruce McKagan. So he said in a statement, "I'm excited," said Renew, our community executive director, Bruce McKagan, whose brother Duff is a founding member and bassist for Guns N' Roses. It's been like 3 times that we've kind of penciled in a date for him to come. And every time they got extended on their tours, he's locked and loaded, and it's going to be something McKagan said. So Duff is joined by Boston lead singer Tommy DiCarlo for January 24th, Rock and Roll Evening with Stars concert at the McKevely Center in New York. So the show is going to include the orchestra and ELO Part 2 guitarist Parthenon Huxley and Hootie and the Blowfish drummer Gary Green. So tickets are going to range from $199 to $350 US, and there'll only be 500 tickets on sale. So Bruce McKagan expects them to sell quickly, with proceeds going to Renew Our Community, or ROC. He said, "We as a nonprofit struggle just to keep the doors open." He said, "We don't have government grants. This is just a great opportunity to help us for 2019. So the event will include acoustic and amp sessions in the historic theaters, interviews, and a live auction, and several other performers have local ties. If you guys are interested in attending, tickets are available at renewoc.org. And for those who missed it, Guns N' Roses were nominated for a Grammy Award this past week. So they've been nominated, not in the category you would expect. It was actually a category I didn't even know existed. So they were nominated for Best Boxed or Special Limited Edition Package for their Appetite for Destruction Locked and Loaded box set. So they're up against the Decemberists, Grateful Dead, Weird Al Yankovic, and Johnny Nicholas. So the 2019 Grammy Awards will take place on Sunday, February 10th, but don't expect Guns N' Roses to show up because this category will definitely not be televised. I even think a couple of years ago, the Grammy stopped even showing the awards for Best Rock Performance or Best Rock Song. So we also had some Duff McKagan news. So Duff paid tribute to the Buzzcocks co-founder Pete Shelley, who passed away at the age of 63. He said the following on social media: "As a lifelong Buzzcocks fan, I so appreciate the musical influence, Pete. Condolences to your family." So on Thursday, the band confirmed with great sadness his death and called him one of the UK's most influential and prolific songwriters. So the Buzzcocks announced in a tweet on its website. It did not elaborate on the details of his death, but said that more information would be released later. So the Buzzcocks were part of the punk rock evolution back in England back in the mid-70s, and also featured groups such as the Sex Pistols and the Clash. So like their contemporaries, the Buzzcocks scorned what they considered the pretentious and bloated style of mainstream groups and turned out brief, stripped-down songs performed at manic speed. We also had some more Duff McKagan news, so not really music related, but Duff showed how to have a civil debate on social media, which is something you don't really hear too much, civil debate and social media. So there was apparently a Seattle radio host who was talking about, there's some disagreement going on in Seattle or some discussion about recycling of plastics. So there's a guy named Dory Monson who wrote on social media, 95% of plastic in our oceans comes from 10 rivers, 8 in Asia and 2 in Africa. A plastic bag ban in Washington state will essentially do nothing for the planet. Another exercise in local progressive futility to feel good. So I guess there's a debate in Washington state to talk about banning plastic bags. To which Duff punk rock McKagan responds saying, "I disagree, Dory. I studied this exact topic at Seattle University for a semester. I know the aspirin effect you're talking about, and I get it, but lessening plastic anywhere is a good thing. Also not sure where you got your stat, just saying." So apparently Dory went on his radio show and actually talked about his friendly disagreement with Duff McKagan on social media. So if you guys want to listen to that, a 9-minute or so discussion, you guys can check out the link below. So turning now to some former Guns N' Roses members. So Matt Sorum hasn't been sitting on his butt during this whole reunion. He was touring with Billy Gibbons, and it was recently announced that he's going to be forming a supergroup with Geezer Butler, as well as Steve Stevens of Billy Idol's band. So they've got a new supergroup that's released a song called Down in the Flames. So Down in Flames, and the band is called Deadland Ritual. So it also features Apocalyptica vocalist Frankie Perez, who Sorum has worked quite frequently with, and they've also announced that they're going to be playing the Download Festival in 2019. If you guys have been paying attention, Slash is also playing the same festival, so who knows, maybe there's a chance that Matt and Slash would join each other on stage and perform a song together. If you guys want to listen to their new song, I've linked to it down below. Let's go on to our next piece of news. So that does it for today's video, guys. I'm so happy to be back on my main GNR Central channel. So hopefully everything works out going forward. And I also look forward to doing some true story episodes about some bands other than Guns N' Roses on my second YouTube channel, which I've linked to down below if you guys want to go check it out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a good holidays. Take care.